If you have ever driven past a high-rise building under construction, chances are you've seen a tower crane. These metal monsters are not only impressive structures, but are also vital to the construction effort. The job of a tower crane is to lift heavy stuff from one location and put it somewhere else. Often this will be from ground level to the main construction level of a building. These cranes can come in a variety of sizes and often soar to hundreds of feet into the air. They are often employed to lift things like steel, concrete, large tools, and other machinery. All well and good, but how are they actually built? A tower crane begins its life on site as a pile of prefabricated components and sections. The first step is to mount the base section into the ground using specially designed foundations. The foundations are painstakingly designed and must be absolutely correct, or the whole crane will simply come crashing down once erected. Once in place, concrete is poured and cured, ready for the main phase of construction. For a 40-foot crane, 16 number 2 5/16-inch bolts are usually required, which are torqued with a hydraulic wrench to as much as 4,300 foot-pounds. This phase is critical to the whole construction and must be near perfectly accomplished. It must not exceed a deviation of 1 inch in 500 in the vertical. Other mast sections are then continuously added to the base until the required height is reached. Some larger cranes may also include tie-in sections to attach them to existing building structures for stability. Once complete, the turntable with the operator cabin is added to the crane. This is often the heaviest single component of the crane, and in some circumstances, this part can be split into two to reduce the weight load on the structure. The tower top is added on top of the turntable after it is installed, and connecting members for the crane's jibs are added to the mast. The counter jib is usually then assembled and made ready to be installed. The counter jib can either be lifted with the crane's hoist attached or not. Next, the main working jib is elevated and attached to the turntable before being orientated at a slight angle above the horizontal. The crane's hoist is then connected to a pendant attached to the working jib. Eventually, it is pulled up to the tower top and connected in place. The working jib is then lowered back to its final horizontal position. At this point, unless already completed at ground level, the crane's trolley is also installed. The final step is to add the ballast, which can exceed 60,000 pounds, to the counter jib. At this point, the main tower crane construction is complete. This whole process, while it sounds pretty complex, can usually be completed in less than a day if the crew is competent enough. In order to make the crane functional, however, the ropes also need to be installed. The main hook is moved along the working jib and trolley, and the ropes are attached to the trolley and fed to the winch. Depending on the size of the crane, this can take 1 to 3 hours. The load line is installed after the trolley lines are in place. It usually runs from the back of the crane and under the jib to the outer tip of the crane. With all the main mechanical parts in place, the final stage is setting the motion limits for the hoist and trolley. Performance testing is then conducted to test the crane to 100% of its lifting capacity. For a 40-foot crane, the entire process usually requires around a dozen trucks, several mobile cranes, crane rectors, and crane operators. On a perfect job, the entire project can be completed within a single day, but larger cranes will usually take longer. Pretty impressive, isn't it? And that is how a tower crane is constructed.